Greg Pickle, it is Penn State Army week, another home game for Penn State. It's like, I think this is the 11th or 12th in a row this year. They play Army at noon, Saturday at Beaver Stadium. Whenever you play Army, Greg, you have to be ready for the option. It's all about defense, smart discipline, tackling, stay in your lanes, don't blow any assignments. And James Franklin talked about the fact that the safeties tackling needs to improve, especially since the backups Malik Golden and Troy Apke could figure to play again a little bit on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. He talked about the fact that that was sort of a problem for the entire defense, but he sort of relegated it to those two mainly. Obviously, they haven't really faced an offense like they're going to face this week, and not just those two, but the defense. But yeah, certainly when those guys are the last line of defense and come to play the run, it's only going to take one miss to send Army down the field in a big way. So clearly something has to get cleaned up this week.
A couple of things to point out about the game. Penn State opened as, I believe, a 23-point favorite. Penn State fans might want to know Army's best player on offense is their quarterback, Ahmad Bradshaw. He left last week's game. They beat Eastern Michigan and snapped a road losing streak that dated back to 2010. He left the game. I think there's some question whether he'll play this year. I mean, I know they have a backup, but I don't think he's as good as Ahmad Bradshaw. That's something to look for on Saturday. And when James Franklin's press conference today, Greg, I thought there were some interesting tidbits. One involving a true freshman that could play that hasn't yet, Aaron Monroe, a safety.
Yeah, we could see him this weekend. Obviously, the injury concerns of Marcus Allen and Jordan Lucas are going to play big into that. They like Aaron Monroe a lot. He's a kid out of D.C. that has a lot of potential. I think there's a pretty good chance we'll see him this weekend.
Yeah, and he had mentioned him in August before the injury situation. Now, Jordan Lucas didn't play last week. Marcus Allen played very briefly, and then I saw him with his arm in his sling after the game. James Franklin said, "I think Luke, there's a good chance Lucas will play." He said Allen would play. I don't know. It's pretty quick recovery. We'll see. I don't know if they need them both against Army. One other note, though, Greg. A true freshman has undergone a color change in the James Franklin. Whether he plays, whether he doesn't, grand scheme of things. Juwan Johnson was targeted as a green, a wideout at the start of the year, but now you say he's now a yellow, and you can explain what that means.
Indeed, yeah, that's the word out of James Franklin today, meaning Penn State was going to play him, the 6'4", 225-pound receiver. Hasn't played yet in the 4 games that preceded to this weekend's contest with Army, and there's really no reason to play him when you look at Penn State's receiver rotation and the fact that they're just not passing a whole lot. So it makes sense that they're going to sort of go on a wait-and-see approach with him and probably not use him this year.
So 2 things to focus on coming out of this James Franklin press conference: the tackling of the defense, even though they've been good on defense, and whether Ahmad Bradshaw will play for Army and that Army offense and the option on Saturday.